Greatness, greatness. Greatness is yours once you claim it. I am Keystone. I am a synthesizer of energy, frequencies, and information that generates increases of consciousness, self awareness, and self love for those who do not know who they are or the power they possess. This is Code Red. Enter into yourself and learn to fully absolve and let go of the drama, hurt, pain, guilt, anything that's thriving inside of you, and allow yourself to transcend into a healthier state of being. Welcome to the introspection. You've been expecting you. All right, today just going to be just speaking on like the title, getting it isn't. Wanting it isn't enough. Wanting it is not enough. It's one of those words that I would put in a category of having no power or generating power or provoking action, that more or less action. That's again, disclaimer. What I'm expressing is from my journal, from my journey along the way of just my experiences along this process. So, solely expressing myself. That's what this is. So, when it comes to wanting it or wanting something, again, I say, and I fully can accept that there's no action in wanting something. I mean, that's making a statement, and as far as that, that's what it is. You want something, doesn't generate power or action. So it's one of those words that within the conscious and the universe, we comprehend a definition of what that means, but as far as giving the universal order or commanding the universe or commanding something to move on your behalf, it does nothing. To want something is just spinning in place. And, pretty much I put it almost parallel to almost like hope. And again, it sounds nice, it sounds good, but, people perception of what hope is, but can you do hope? Can you show hope? Can you produce it? What I'm saying? That's, again, there's myself, and I prefer to speak with clarity and command. So, again, not perfect, slip up, but, I'm coming from speaking a certain way for over 40 years, up to 40 years, more or less. So it takes time. Again, none of this is overnight. Definitely is not overnight, but with steady work and diligence, it can be achieved. So going into wanting something, that's pretty much the way we're trained, or programmed to make statements of no action. And those that are in control definitely do not use the words that we use. Again, we use it in a certain context because that's the way everything is set up. And they said they utilize it in a different context because that's definitely the way it's set up. But it's a difference, man. If they want something, they put the action behind it or put the plan, so it's no longer a want. It becomes what it is. So see what happens. This one person. Let's see if we can change that and adjust that vocabulary and strengthen your words and your command of your actions and yourself and your mind. And your self-talk is extremely pertinent. So basically, again, everything that I'm speaking on and will be expressing is self-work. It's something that you have to do for self. You have to put in the work. This isn't one that you can get the notes from somebody, and because you read the notes, it's supposed to be inside you. It would be lovely if that was the situation. And if that was the situation, we will not be where we currently are, or you will not be where you are. I will not be where I was. So until you make that decision, put the action behind it, and let it go. You know what I'm saying? Detach yourself from anything that's going counter to the direction that you want to go, or that you have a desire. That's the other thing. You have to, again, nurture yourself, your energy. Again, when you decide to go toward truth or to find out whatever, whatever you want to call it, how you want to call it, but to grow and expand beyond yourself, you have to pretty much be renewed, almost, what they say, reborn. So, so on and so forth. So that means you got to kill off that old mindset, the old way of thinking, the old way of talking, how you interacted, who you interacted with, the things you did as far as what you considered entertainment, and so on and so forth. I mean, it's not a la carte. You can't fix the total by addressing one or two things. And the key is you. You are the key. If anything's going to change in your life, you have to start with you. It has to be something that you desire. It can't be something that you want to do because of somebody else or something else. And, it's cool if that is your inspiration, but, or want to use it for, lightweight motivation, but it all has to come from within, because what happens is that whatever that motivation or inspiration was, when that disappears, where you at? You still have you. And so you're going to resent and feel a certain way about what was your motivation, or whatever that was not you, that was the purpose of you making that attempt to do something to better yourself. So it's really not you going inside yourself, is you putting on that posterior, putting on that the masquerade, So it can give the appearance of, but when it washes away, you're still there. So again, all of this self work is inner work. It's from the inside out, not outside in. And before I get into it, just want to definitely express that truly myself, when you're going to grow, evolve, go beyond where you currently are, you're going to come across different people, different information, different groups, organizations, so on and so forth. And what I do and wholeheartedly share, and what I know from my personal experience, again, is nothing outside of you is going to improve you. Nothing. It'll give the sensation of, the color of, but it's not sustaining because it didn't come from within. So anybody that, you growing or repairing, you have to learn to go inside yourself to repair yourself. Again, before there were doctors or therapists, anybody that's in the system that's deemed as a professional or expert or whatever, if they truly were into themselves, they wouldn't be doing the stuff that they're speaking on, especially to that degree, because everything ain't what they tell you. Straight up. I mean, if you're still delusional and believe that everything in front of you is as it is, then hey, no doubt, I feel you. But I decided to open my eyes up and keep them open, and I can't close them back because I would feel goofy within myself. Yeah, and so it's just a constant bombardment to minimize you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, even look at the story of what they call creation. You know what I'm saying? They tell us we were created from a God, so on and so forth, and then they turn around, and now we came, then we got the evolution story, and then with the evolution story, we're soaring through the universe, and we randomly just happen to be here. But that's what my thing is. I don't, as far as when it gets to religion, I don't get into it. Like, if you ask a question, I'll answer. But if you want to delve in and really dig deep, and yeah, the questions that hurt your soul, you know what I'm saying? Because you can't answer them. You can't address them. You go to your pastor or preacher, they're not going to, they're going to tell you to pray or, whatever, which is just putting a blanket over the situation. Is the dog doo-dooed on the floor and you just, don't worry about getting it up. Just put the blanket over it. So that's pretty much the resolution for a lot of things. So it's really no deep down answers. And so if you really want answers, like I say, once you learn to go inside yourself and you accept what you discover about yourself, then everything that you see outside of you is a reflection. So if there is something going on, I know if somebody has whatever, they could be diagnosed with whatever disease or ailment or whatever they got on their list. And the funny thing about that, if you care to do the research, all that stuff was done. It was the 60s or 70s. Like I said, there's some of the information I've learned a while ago. I just don't then went back to it to get specifics, but I know it was definitely between the 60s and 70s where the I don't know, therapists, doctors, or whatever that are writing prescriptions, they are going to make a concerted effort to diagnose things, and they're going to diagnose those. The way they're going to cure or deal with these things that they're diagnosing is going to be through pharmaceuticals. And believe it or not, again, do yourself a favor and prove yourself right. If you laughing at me and think I'm lying, prove yourself right. Do the little bit of research and blow your own mind. Don't leave it up to me. So what it is, just for instance, just when I was doing mentoring, working with foster kids, shoot, I was like in my mid-20s, mid-20s going toward my 30s. I know I didn't reach my 30s, but at least in my mid-20s. And first time I majorly were hearing of Ritalin. So before I was doing that, I remember a family member was diagnosed and they were, told that they were going to be prescribed Ritalin. And I remember hearing that on the phone, and I was like Ritalin, really didn't know too much about it. That just was something that calmed down wild kids, more or less. And so by the time I was mentoring and working with foster kids, the majority of the caseload that I had, the boys I was working with, Ritalin or Adderall was the prescription. And so, it was interesting. So first time being face-to-face interacting with somebody that, the time, whatever the time was, they had to get that medicine, they had to have it administered. And so with that, so, watching the kids and observing and learning, we working together. I'm mentor, he's a child. And so he's attempting to figure me out to where my weaknesses are. So he's going to exploit, and I'm just checking him out just to see the BS or the good or whatever that he has. And so when I'm giving him a clean slate, because I could read the report and everything in the report is documented from somebody's perspective. But if I'm working with you hand in hand with the amount of time that I'm assigned to work with you, yeah, it behooves me to understand you. And so years or months and years go by, and I started to notice, not started to notice, but pretty much what I figured is like, nah, you have control, but it's an excuse. You know what I'm saying? So if he's not, they say if he's not having a bad day, but what I basically just had to straight up tell him, man, I know you lying, playing around with people. So when you act up, you could blame it on you're not at what do you call it, therapeutic level. You know what I'm saying? You're not on therapeutic level, so you're not fully induced with the amount of poison in your body to give that calming effect. So being from the generation that I grew up in, I'm a child of the 70s and on through the 80s, and things were extremely different, so I straight told him, I said, man, so he really couldn't front too much because the amount of time I dealt with him, so it's basically he was more authentic. I'm not gonna say real. He was more authentic with me than he was with the rest of the caseworkers. We go to a meeting and everybody else is begging him to talk and to interact and so on and so forth, and basically hey man, answer these questions so we could go. So they're looking like dang, how can you do that? But I spend more time. I didn't have to do an hour. You got your hour. So long as you get your hour, you're gonna sit in the house. You're not gonna interact with them. So you're just watching the clock and shooting out. So I was comfortable. So we communicated on another level than the great majority of everybody that was dealing with those cases. So I told him, I said, man, that medication stuff, and again, this is way before I'm even delved into what I'm into now, but this is just my observation and from what I know. And I told him, man, you playing around. And so when I was younger, we didn't have anything called Ritalin. We didn't have medication. I told him my Ritalin was the belt. You know what I'm saying? Well, medication was the belt because it was dual purpose. So I told him, straight, if we didn't move fast enough, that belt hit you, yeah, your feet, you move in triple time. And then, you needed to calm down or sit your butt down. You already know what that belt does. That belt going to tap you a few times and you're going to sit your butt down. So it became a thing, where I acknowledge, and even growing up myself, I weighed out, with the reward to the punishment. If it was worth it, or whether it was worth it or not, is okay. Well, if I get caught, I'm gonna get my butt whipped. But if not, I'm gonna get these 5 cookies, and I'm gonna enjoy some cookies tonight. If I can get the cookies out the cookie jar without, hitting the glass with opening it up. So I shared that with them. You know what I'm saying? It's like this is an excuse, and so what that ended up being is that you don't take accountability for your actions. You know what I'm saying? Because I wasn't on my medicine. So whether that's true or not, but once you begin speaking it, you start to feel it. And by you speaking it enough, again, the universe is going to give you what you speak. And so once you say that and you get into trouble or whatever, a situation. And so when, I'm just speaking still within the foster child, that the first thing they're going to attack you on is your medication and the strength of it. You know what I'm saying? Well, we're gonna up the dosage. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna increase it, and yeah, that's horrible. You never teach them to is you learn how to make better decisions, learn yourself, and so on and so forth. So, just touching on just a little bit on how we get in the position of wanting. Wanting is always, you're again, how I feel about wanting is no action. You want, and that's just a statement, and you could want forever. You could want to get in shape. You could, but never eat better, never hit the gym, never walk, never do a push up, never do a sit up outside of you getting up out the bed, or they say pull ups, pull yourself to the table. But that's truly the extent of it. So you grow up wanting, stating it, but don't realize that it takes the action. You got to put the action behind the want if you want the want to be something that you want in your hand. I mean, it's good to state what you want, but you have to go steps beyond that. So when it comes to wanting, that's more like like I said, a non-action word. So the way I look at it is when people want something, they're waiting. When people are in a state of want, that's what I'm referring to. When they're in a state of want, they see themselves as helpless, and they're waiting for things outside of them to arrange situations or scenarios to help them achieve or acquire their want. Because if you want it, you're going to do something. So it goes no longer to want. I mean, it's no longer want. It goes to a word of action, a word of power. Again, wanting is just a statement. Just I want, I want to lose 20 pounds. Okay, but you could be wanting to lose 20 pounds for 40 years if you never do anything to manifest that want. That's all it is. But if you want to lose 40 pounds and you begin, drinking water or walking on your lunch break or walk when you get home, that becomes a stronger than the want. You know what I'm saying? That's how I look at it. So what I do is, so with want, acronym that I, come up with is wishers always neglect or negate themselves. Wishers always negate or neglect themselves, meaning they're not of it, they're not of significance into achieving or acquiring that want. Whenever somebody wants something, they don't include them as far as the plan. That's how I feel about it. And by them negating or neglecting themselves, they don't put any power or energy or even faith into themselves as far as what they can do to achieve or to help that along. So those that want are just sitting and waiting for something to do it for them. So again, wishers, or if you want to say wanters, but wishers always neglect or negate themselves. So if you're a wanter, again, as I stated, wanting it is not enough. It truly isn't. And so move yourself from being a wisher that always neglect yourself. Put faith, energy, and grow yourself. Again, if you feel insignificant, as I share with you, with no issue. Again, I was looking at beetles walking above me, how low I was. And I wanted to do better. I wanted to be better. I wanted to be what I was here to do. So I had to put in the action. So I had to change my self-talk, my walk, my interactions on what I chose to do as far as, and also protecting my energy. I couldn't want to do something and then put in action and then do everything, build my own support system more or less around me because of the work I'm doing inside. So again, this is something that you will have to do if you want to go above and beyond where you are. So people have a tendency, not even tendency, people are known to, basically express, wants and needs. I like, a few of my wants, but I make sure I have my needs. You know what I'm saying? So again, want is no action. It's just a statement. It's bland. It's there. And once you put action into it, it's no longer a want. So that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about power. It's about energy. And even, the biblical people, faith without works is dead. So even the Bible's telling you. So for those that, hey, don't knock you, but as far as myself, what can Jesus do for me that I can't do for myself? So again, and for anything to happen to you or for you, you have to be a participant. So again, faith without works is dead. So if you're on your knees praying, you want to do this and do that, but never get off your knees, it's never going to happen. It doesn't happen until you happen. And so again, the way society is, and again, these are I'm expressing myself, they set it up to where you're insignificant. So by you making a decision, you won't get any power from you making a decision. So what that means is that there was something else outside of you that gave you that strength to do that. So you don't feel significant enough that by you deciding to do it, that should power you or empower you. That's, again, this stuff is ass backwards. The way that society is set up that has us thinking the way that we think. I mean, it doesn't make sense. When it comes to something that you want to give Jesus the praise for, then what happens to the bad side? So rather than, okay, well, we give you the devil for the bad. So if Jesus always comes around when it's good, what do you call that? A fair weather friend. Again, my expressions, my feelings, what I've experienced, and I'm totally okay with speaking it. But the way that Jesus is, the way that he's presented, he's a fair weather friend. He only comes around or gets praised when there's something good. So what happens when the bad happens? You fall down and twist your ankle, or you scrape your knee, or accident, or whatever. Okay. What's up? Come help out. So, but no, what we're going to do, we're going to give you another entity. That's the devil or Satan or whatever. So whenever something good, hey, give it to him, something bad. So again, you're neglecting yourself, and just off of the system itself, you're operating your life as 1/3 of you. 1/3 goes to Jesus, 1/3 goes to devil or Satan, then you got a third. And then within that third, you're fractionalizing yourself because now you're giving pieces of yourself to everybody. So really, how much of you do you have? You know what I'm saying? The good side, the good third goes to Jesus. The bad third goes to the devil. Then what's inside you is the third. And then you splinter yourself off. And that happens when you don't know yourself. So when you learn yourself and love yourself and learn your value and your worth, you put yourself together. And I know this isn't a topic for the statement, but I just want to, just speak it because it's factual to me. And it's, when I remember first hearing it, religion is for people that are scared to go to hell. Again, religion is for people that are scared to go to hell. Spirituality is for people like myself who's already been there. Again, spirituality is for the people who has already been to hell, and I'm still standing. So again, I know it's all mental. So once I discovered that and experienced that and am living it, I have no issue speaking it. So you're made to feel insignificant. So you got your wants. I mean, excuse me, you got your wants and your needs, and so your needs are a little more of a priority. I say that. I'm not gonna say important, but more of a priority as far as you achieving or attaining or accomplishing or acquiring. So you need food, you need air, you need water, you need clothes or a place or transportation. So so that's what I'm saying. So when it's a want, but now the need puts it as it generates action because you need it. It's something that you have to have. So it's a difference of wanting, and then it's a different from needing. So when it comes to needing, that puts action. You know what I'm saying? So you need X amount of currency to do this. So all right, sure, I need to do that. But you want X amount of dollars to do something. That's well, I want it, but hey, it may happen or it may not. But when it becomes a need, that's more action. Not the most action, but it will generate action. Again, this is myself. So something going from a want to a need, it ups it a little bit, you know what I'm saying, as far as the action and then what it generates within yourself. Again, these are words and words have power, and want doesn't generate anything. Need, the universe and your mental comprehends that, means let's do something. Let's get the ball rolling. So with need, you know what I'm saying, acronym for need is what did I say? Necessary effort every day. Necessary effort every day. So when something becomes a need, you put in the effort every day. Again, want is wishes always neglect themselves or negate themselves. So you're still in a state of standstill. Now when it goes to a need, necessary effort every day. So now it's a need. So whatever needs to, pun intended, whatever is needed to achieve that, you will put into action. You would do something to build toward it. It may not happen right then, but you're going to build the momentum. You're going to put in the work for the momentum. So that makes it a little better, or increases your opportunity to achieve or acquire or attain that need. And once you put in that work, it's more valuable to you. So when you're at a want and you achieve something, I mean, you acquire something, you know what I'm saying, you got it pretty much for free. I'm not saying that you didn't want it, but again, wanting to stand still. So when you get something that you want and you didn't work for, you don't appreciate it. So you may not cherish it, or you may not take care of it. And I don't mean cherish like you're worshiping it, but you're not going to take care of it as if you did the work for it. So again, need necessary effort every day. So that's what you're going to do to achieve or acquire your needs. So you got the want, which is kind of like some action. When you're standing still, you got your need is a little action. Then you got your want, you got your need, and then you got your dreams. And dreams are the key to manifesting what you want in this universe. Because the dream is through your mental, through the ether, and depending on the vibration of your frequency, you will be able to think above those that are whatever frequency you're on now, whether it's low or high or whatever. But your dream, you can only access like energy and thoughts, ideas, so on and so forth, once you increase yourself. And I mean, it's you see it every day. I mean, look at the this technology. This stuff didn't just happenstance just end up being. It's these people work on themselves. They put themselves in situations to where they can attain this type of knowledge and information. Again, they're improving themselves. So how would you figure out like the man that like him and his crew that made PayPal? You know, you just don't think of things like that. You know, watching a football game. You know what I'm saying? It it don't happen. You have to be into that space, and you can't vibrate and attain that information, let alone comprehend it, unless that's where you operate. So by you operating on that level, you can see things that the ones that don't can't see. It's impossible. So again, if you have to build yourself up to where you want to go, you know, it's easy to, it's wonderful to speak on, you know, what you want, but then you got to, from that one, you got to, you know, get your need, you know, what you need to do to get that one. Then again, so there's the dream. Now once you got that, now you dreaming, now you visualizing it, now you telling the universe and you're showing the universe this is what I want. And along with you telling the universe that, you're letting yourself know, you're making yourself aware, you're putting yourself on notice, like, hey, this is what I want. Now I need to put together and build myself up to be able to achieve that or acquire that. Until you build yourself up to achieve or acquire that, if you just so happen to get it, let's say you don't build yourself up, but you just happen to get it, it's gonna crush you. You know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, you wanna shoot, you bench pressing, you know what I'm saying? You think you're gonna get underneath and, you know, throw up 4 or 5, you know, 405 pounds. But the last time you maxed, you probably maxed at like, you know, 225, 260. But you feeling, yeah, I wanna, you know, you're gonna jump under that 405 pounds, and once it's unracked and your spotter let go of that, man, you're gonna have that bar gonna crush your chest and your sternum. You know what I'm saying? Your arms, your tendons, you know, you're not ready. You know, your muscle and tendons aren't even prepared for that kind of that weight. And let alone your chest, you know what I'm saying? So your wrist, I mean, there's no telling. So you got to prepare yourself for what you want. It's good to visual, but you have to prepare yourself for what you want. And because once it's given to you, you can't complain. Like, ah, man, I wasn't ready. That's on you. And who knows the next time the opportunity is going to be, you're going to be given opportunity to have that again, definitely on that level. So they may give you like a little sample version of it, but until you build yourself up, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to be ready for it. So, like I said, the dream, you know what I'm saying? Just this universe, everything is about dreaming. It's if you truly was to comprehend the level of dreaming as to how pertinent it is in this dimension, you would cherish your sleep. You would cherish the environment around you when you sleep, the aura, the sleeping in the dark has to be, because your melatonin. I mean, so many things that we don't know about our body because we don't know our body. We know everything outside of us. You know, we could run off somebody's stats and how many times they did this and they made this promise on their campaign trail, and they, you know what I'm saying, this star did this, and, you know, just a whole bunch of shit that's irrelevant to you. You know, nothing, none of that information, unless you're going to be a writer for a tabloid or create your blog or whatever, but that's still, you know, whatever here and there. It's not going to benefit you. You know, you're putting inside of you stuff about somebody else. So all you're doing is putting your energy into them. So again, where your energy goes, it grows. So if you want to put all your energy on these people that are, you know, to consider stars, rather than being your own star, star in your own life, that is a choice. You know what I'm saying? You could be powerful or powerless. It's a choice. And as I'm pretty sure, without a doubt, I'm, I'm one of the powerful. Powerless, that was back then. No more. So dreaming, the key to manifesting. You have to be able to dream. If you don't dream, how do you know? I mean, how I mean, where's your aim? You know, where you going? Where's your aim? You know, what direction are you going? If you don't have a dream, and if you don't dream or have a desire to do something different than what you are, where you're at, where's your roadmap? Again, this is very important to you getting out the back seat of your own bus of your life and grabbing the steering wheel. You have to at some point grab your steering wheel. And I'm sure people, oh, I got the steering. You don't, because you know who you are? If you living within who you truly are, you wouldn't be in the position that you're in. That's just truth. You know what I'm saying? Because it takes accountability to get behind the wheel. Just anybody that travels, with a steering wheel. You're accountable for yourself, that car, and any of your guests that's traveling with you. You're responsible for all of that. And again, we're set up in life to we're given scapegoats. Once we come out the womb, it's already set up. Okay, go ahead, teach them about the good guy that's going to get all the credit. Okay, and then we're going to teach them the bad guy that gets all the credit. And the other third, everybody else is going to chop up and splinter them, and he or she's not going to know themselves. So, hey, that's how we want it. So then we could pump them with this medicine, and we could give them this, keep beating their mind. So when somebody tells them that they're powerful and express to them that it's totally up to them, they have to think it. Sounds like straight shit. They don't want to hear it. It sounds so far-fetched, fantasy, and you can't be that positive. Like I said, it's not all about positivity. It's all about balance. Again, if you get hot, bring it back to center. You could be overly happy, bring it back to center. It's about balance. It's not about, just the perception of, how they present everything. So your dreaming is downplayed. I've met people that keep, dream journals, and it was fascinating to me. I would wake up and I would write like an idea, a phrase, or a concept that I'm going to, work on, but to write out my dreams, straight up, write out detail, anything that I can, remember. And then if I have another dream, write that down and document it. And then to be able to go back and look at your dreams and to figure out the meaning or the purpose and so on and so forth, that is super tremendous. I mean, so that is something I myself, I'm going to begin practicing that, but it takes time, it takes effort, and it's going to happen. But again, like I said, I'm not claiming to be super perfect, Mr. Guru or anything, but I'm expressing myself. So comprehending the true, not even the full, but to my extent of understanding the importance of dreams, that's important because in the flesh, as you and I are right now, we're slow light. Again, we're slow light. We're vibrating super slow. In the dream world, if you notice, you move at will. You're moving at the speed of light. You know what I'm saying? You could be here in your house, and then next thing you know, you're in the Himalayas. Then you're at a sports event, and it feels so real. And that's what they call the astral plane. Everything happens in the astral plane before it happens in the physical. You can research that. So I ain't gonna go too far in that, but yeah, do some research on the astral plane. Again, blow your own mind. Don't leave it up to me. Go blow your own mind. You're going to benefit better once you can put your eyes on this, and then once you see this with your own eyes, then you got to look at you, and then you have to decide. Do you want to go further or you want to stop? Because it's about to get uncomfortable, because what you just put your eyes on is totally counter than what you live the rest of your life. And that is uneasy. And as I share, it hurts for a little bit. It doesn't last forever. So again, dream. So acronym for dream is doing directing required energy at manifestation. Yeah, directing required energy at manifestation. So you dream it, again, it happens in the astral plane. And that's, if you want to look at levels, that's out of the realm. If I don't use outer space, but that's dimensions above where we are. And everything that manifests right here in the physical plane happens there first. So that's your thought mind, what I'm saying, your thought process, and the dreaming, your imagination. Your imagination is image nation, a nation of images. So your imagination feeds into your dreams, vice versa, and you have to be the one that brings that about. And by directing energy at required energy at manifestation, and I'm gonna remember, like I said, this is just all right before I got on. That's how you achieve and accomplish your dream. So once I learned my purpose and I accepted it, I I knew that was far beyond the realm of anything that I experienced in my life. Because the way they said, if your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. Basically, if your dreams don't challenge you to grow, they're not dreams. You know what I'm saying? You how do you say it? They're dreams. Not going to knock that, but just like, okay, shoot, just like fiat currency, you can have $1,000 bill or just say $50,000 bill, and you have a $1 bill. You know the difference between the two is your belief. But to produce them, they cost the exact same. Which I think was like printing now is what, less than 2 to 3 cents per bill. I think that's what it breaks down to. So $100 bill, the cost to print $100 bill costs exactly the same as a $50,000 bill, whether there's one or not. But just so you can see the significance, a $1 bill costs the same to produce as a $50,000 bill. So same thing with your dreams. To dream that you're going to tie your shoes with your eyes closed, as to whatever corporation, business, whatever your heart desires, same amount of energy, the same cost. You could dream about tying your shoes with your eyes closed finally, or you could dream about achieving or accomplishing things. The only thing that's going to be the difference is what's required of you. What kind of self-work is it going to require you? So if you want to take that same energy and use it to, dream about tying your shoes with your eyes closed, you don't have to change much. You know what I'm saying? If you know the motion, you close your eyes, so then boom, you achieve that. Now you got the next little dream. But no, go for the big stuff. Go for the gusto. You know what I'm saying? Scare yourself. But as you evolve and grow, the universe is going to support you. That's all again, we're creators, we're gods. You have to generate, organize, and decide. And once you make that decision, that's what puts the universe in action. You have to command the universe to do what you need it to do. But if you don't build yourself, so again, once you command the universe, as I shared before, it's stitching stuff. You can't see it naturally, but it's manifesting. You know what I'm saying? You done spoke. You just spoke your craft, your witchcraft. You put the spell out there. And so the universe it got his command, just like rubbing the genie on the lamp, hey, I wish this, or whatever you tell the genie, hits it. But the realistic version of it is the universe. So once you put your intent out there, and then you start detach from that, the results, and attach yourself to yourself and allow yourself to grow and become what your wish is, what your dream is. Again, if you want something that's beyond you, and you should dream to scare yourself. So as you're building and molding yourself to become, grow into what you desire, the universe is going to put things in your path, and it's going to, lack of a better way of speaking it is, it's going to freak you out. I mean, just along my path, just like, oh my gosh, what the odds I'm going to meet this person that's able to do this, or meet this person that's able to do that. And it's just like right on time, as long as you're in motion. So if I would have never been in motion, like I said, the universe puts people, you're on your path, you're on your journey. Like I said, we're here to explore, and we're exploring to discover self. That's it. That's it. Again, I'm expressing myself. Somebody may tell you something else, but we are journeymen / journeywomen, and we're here to explore, and we're exploring to find ourselves. And the funny thing is that the way everything is set up, we go on a wild ass goose chase, looking all around the world, looking here, looking there, looking everywhere, but never look inside. So imagine the sooner that you can accept who you are and what you are, and where you're at, and where you have to build from, the effect that can have on your life. Or you could continue doing what you're doing now, giving, whatever you do good to that third, whatever you do bad to that third, and splinter yourself up amongst here and there. So that's why I say, if when it came to my attention, and everybody doesn't agree with me, but I'm fine with that. So again, if everybody you're around is thinking the same thing, nobody's thinking. Everybody think the same thing. Nobody's thinking. Put yourself out there to challenge your thoughts. Grow. You know what I'm saying? Get in a conversation. That doesn't mean you have to agree with that person, but you hear a different perspective, and you look at it without judging and pointing the finger and damning them. That allows you to grow, because now you softened yourself up, because you got your hard block of information, and anything that's outside of that block you reject and subject and talk shit, and that's not how you grow. So again, put yourself in conversations that are uncomfortable. Get out of your comfort zone. You have to get out your comfort zone. And one of the shirts I wear, and the shirts I made it for myself, is run at your fears like a bowling ball toward pins. Again, run at your fears like a bowling ball toward pins. And that's truly what you have to do, because your greatest dreams are on the exact other side of your greatest fear. Whatever you fear most, your dreams are standing right on the other side. And many people get right to that dream and push the wall, and it doesn't move. They turn around and walk away. They didn't even see if they could jump over it or hit it a different place. I mean, it's on you. Your greatest dream is on the other side of, your fear, your greatest fear. And again, my mindset is run at your fears like a bowling ball toward pins. So anybody can relate to that reference. You sling that bowling ball, let them pins, hey, the pins don't have a chance. At least I know when I'm throwing it. But that's how you have to change your mindset and put the action behind you. And that's how you have to go after what you want. Again, that's how you have to go after what you want. So that want is a standstill. Once you put action behind it, it magnifies it. So again, the dream, directing required energy at manifesting. You have to, whether it be educational, give yourself some knowledge, some experience, speaking to people, go ask somebody that does what you want or what you desire. Go get a mentor. Watch videos, speak. There's so many things you can do to build yourself up, but it requires action. You know what I'm saying? So again, dreaming is sitting. Wanting is sitting, dreaming, and then putting the action behind it. That's how you get it. Again, the dream has to happen. The dream is the blueprint. That's your map. Again, if you hop in a car, you're not going to travel to a destination unless you have a destination. You're just not randomly going to end up where you may need to be until you visualize it and map it out in your mind. Start the car, and then you begin to travel and direct yourself while you're traveling. That's how you get to where you are, where you want to be. So that's the way life is. When you ask somebody what they want, nobody knows. What do you desire? Nobody knows. But one thing they do know, they know what they don't want. They know what they don't like. They know what pisses them off. They know what gets on their nerves. So if you can see the difference, anything pro, meaning for you, you don't know yourself. You don't know anything about yourself to even speak on what you desire, what you want. You know what I'm saying? You can't. But again, we are special force killers when it comes to destruction. Oh, just get on my nerves. Oh, this, that. I mean, they could go on and on, but when it's something for them, they got to pause. You're rarely going to come across somebody when you ask them what they want, and they're going to be able to express it clearly. Oh, this is what I want. Da-da-da-da-da. This is what I'm doing. Da-da-da-da. And da-da-da-da. Like, damn, okay. I didn't expect that. When you ask somebody what they want, dang, man, I don't know. And to me, it's like, wow, okay. But like I said, no judgment, that's how it is. You can't judge, to say, I never forget where my mind is. Again, the same schools, I was stuck on sports, just life, what I'm saying, doing what everybody else is doing. But once I made a decision, like I said, the revolution will not be televised. And The renewing of the mind will happen in the twinkling of an eye. And it's the same message. It's inside. You have to make a decision. Once you make that decision and stand behind it and bring it to life. You know, you want change, you got to change. You can't change on accident. I mean, you just don't randomly change, you know, in the manner that from the context of what I'm speaking. I mean, so don't be cynical, be grown. So again, from wanting to needing to dreaming. Dreaming is the most powerful, it's the most necessary because that gives you your blueprint. That gives you your direction. But it's up to you after that. You have to, again, decide where you want to go. And then, okay, acknowledge what you need to do to get there. And I'm not saying that everything's going to happen all at once, but you got to improve 5 to 6 different things that you do. You know, you got to, number one, you got to start waking up earlier. Not saying you personally, but I'm just saying there's 6 things that you acknowledge to yourself in order to grow or evolve to become the person that's going to get what you desire from that dream. You know, you got to start getting up at 4:30 in the morning. All right, so by getting up at 4:30, you know, then that gives you time to meditate. Then within you meditating, you know, gives you time to do a little workout or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then after that, you got to do your emails. You know, do your correspondences, whatever you're going to do as far as answering emails or checking orders or whatever. Then, you know what I'm saying, you take an hour or whatever. Now you got to start reading. You know, you got to dedicate and block off an hour or whatever for yourself as far as putting into yourself. And, you know, you're adding reading. And then another one is you want to improve your diet. So those are just 6 things that you're going to have to do if that's what you desire, because you can't get that if you don't change or you don't adjust or improve yourself. So the benefit of getting up at 4:30 is that those that are quite aware that when the sun begins to show itself, that's new energy. That's information that the sun is putting out there. Again, what I'm speaking is what I know, what I've experienced, and what I've researched. So again, blow your own mind. But and then the thing is that energy that's radiating from the sun is out there, and a great majority of successful people get up at that time of the morning, especially creators, because there's not that many people in their awake state that is pulling from that information. So the download of information or energy from the sun that early in the morning is most potent at that time. And those that are awake to download that information and energy going to imagine, okay, people up to 4:30, and then the majority of people don't wake up till like 7 or 8 or somewhere around there. So between 2 to 3 to 4 hours of very minimum amount of the population is getting overloaded with the first energy of the sun. So by the time everybody else get up, now everybody else is pulling from that energy. So it's not as potent, but again, the benefit of getting up at 4:30, 5 o'clock or whatever, basically before everybody else. So then being able to meditate. All right, being able to meditate is how you repair your brain. So your body, you know, you got to allow your body time to rest, to repair itself. Everybody's quite aware of that. So let me ask you, when do you give your mind, how do you give your mind a break? You think where you sleep? No, your mind is not really resting while you sleep, because now it's dreaming. You know what I'm saying? You're in the dream world, and that's from your mind. So what meditating is I don't know, what do you say? Basically, what meditation is, that's how you repair your mind. You shut your mind off and you allow your mind to just do what it does and be in the quiet, be in the dark, and be free of thoughts. That's what meditating is. And, you know, some, say, think on things, but that's not meditating. That's putting intentions. You know what I'm saying? That still, if that's what you call meditating, then hey, no argument from me. But meditating is turning your mind off, just resting, and working on your breathing, and allow your mind and that the benefits of meditation is nothing that I even care to speak on right now. I mean, it's, again, blow your own mind, and again, get good information. Don't just pop on the first thing that you see, that's the most popular thing, whatever search engine. I mean, that's what they want you to know is going to pretty much be the filler of what's up top. Do your diligence and compare and contrast. Don't just go through one source. Just compare and contrast. So what meditation does, that turns your mind off more or less, and it gets to repair itself. And within it, repairing itself is interacting. You know what I'm saying? So the subconscious messes with the conscious mind and the unconscious. So they get to run their whatever the technical stuff is for that, and they get to run their test, and then they get to exchange signals and information and so on and so forth. So within that, again, after you do a good workout, you got your cool down period, you know what I'm saying? So, you want that chest to pop out or them shoulders to go, you're going to have to give that day of rest or, whatever, however long, but that's for that to develop. So imagine you doing your brain like you do your muscles. So after a day of work, before you lay down to go to sleep or when you get up in the morning, exercise that brain by allowing the brain to do what it does. Like I said, I don't even care to pretend to be able to explain in detail about meditation, but I do know the benefits of it. I can speak on that, but I just, just a little bit, like I said, blow your own mind. Then again, as far as exercises, so now that's your body getting up that early, because what's everybody's complaint, they're not in shape because they don't have time. Oh, I ain't got time to do this. Oh, I was too busy. I was tired when I got off work. So yeah, I'm paying the membership for the gym and I ain't been there the whole damn year. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So you get up at 4:30, do this and that. So now I don't know if you got a job, if you entrepreneur or what, but you getting up that early now, you can block out that time. So before you do anything else throughout the day that you're giving your time toward anybody else, you're putting that into you. So basically what you're doing as soon as you open your eyes is you're investing in you. The first thing you're doing that day is you're investing in yourself. The very first thing you're doing. So how can you have a bad day when you wake up and the first thing you do is show yourself so much damn love that whatever somebody feeds you that's outside of you, man, sliding off you, you shimmying and you rolling on them. So that's how you have to do yourself and your energy. It becomes a game. It's fun. Somebody comes at you attacking with that negativity. I mean, bob and weave or just put an end to it. And that only happens once you know and love yourself. I mean, yeah, some may say, oh yeah, but you can't. Friction causes friction. Straight up. So if you hit with friction and you get friction back, that's friction. You know what I'm saying? Now what's gonna happen is fire. Pretty soon it's heat, then the heat keep going, then it's gonna be full from the fire, there's gonna be a full-blown blaze, and you can only imagine what happens from there, because I'm sure you've seen it or experienced it yourself. So that's the benefit of waking up and doing that for yourself. So then, like I said, you first thing you do your emails or whatever your correspondences is. So you know what I'm saying? That sets your day. So now so whatever happened overnight or whatever you didn't get to the day, you got to start blocking out that time and just deal with that. And however you do your business practices through the day, because however you do, but to set yourself a schedule, what that's doing, that's creating discipline and a routine. And those that are, if you look at wealthy people as being successful, or to whatever version you consider somebody successful, they have discipline. They have a routine. They have a system that works. There's no way. I mean, I may have shared it and maybe not, but this gentleman I watched, and he says he has micro days. His days are 6-hour days. What he does, he squeezes a whole day of work into 3 segments of 6 hours. So from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. 6 p.m. to 6 p.m. 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. and then 6 p.m. to 12 a.m. So he says how he structured his days is he calls them micro days. So he squeezes somebody regular, 8 to 10 hours of the average person's workday into 6 hours, 3 times. So at the end of that day, You look at, okay, you put in a good 8 to 10 hours, you feeling good, but he just did, basically more or less 24 hours. So to have that kind of mind and that kind of execution and that kind of will and ability, he definitely has dreams far beyond anything that I even see myself at right now. So my thing is to work to get to that level where I could do that. You know what I'm saying? And so that's what I'm saying. So the benefit of doing that, you got to grow yourself to become that, because you get handed again, you get handed that $2 million that you say that you want. If you don't have the discipline, that you're going to use that $200, I mean that $2 million the same way that you look at 2,000 or 200 or 20 or even two. That's what happens. So again, dreaming is very necessary, and then evolve and grow to become the person that is supposed to have that dream or attain that dream when it is in life. So again, like I said, wanting it is not enough. So again, wanting is stationary, needing puts a little action, and dreaming, that's the realm that you want to visualize in to manifest. Again, directing required energy at manifesting. That's what a dream is. So you visualize it, then after you visualize it, you got to put yourself behind it. So just wanted to touch on that and get people out of wanting this and wanting that and complaining about this and complaining about that. The simple fact of the matter is it's all on you. Nobody else, nothing else. If people continue to direct you towards stuff outside of you, that's on you. But until you do something, it's not going to happen. There, I mean, regardless. Again, you could pray to Jesus and God and Buddha and Allah and Jacob and whoever else you want to pray to, but until you make a decision to move and put some action, it's not going to happen. That's on TV, rubbing the lamp and making a wish and all that, and it appearing before you. All that's doing is setting you up for super extreme failure. And again, put you in that lottery mindset. You want to win the lottery. You want to win the lottery again. Wishes always negate or neglect themselves. So you can attain that amount of money or income or currency from that lottery, but you got to build yourself up. But rather than build yourself up, it's easier to go pay somebody, again, shit, $20, $30, $40 every day, maybe between 2 to 3 times if you do the AM drawing and the PM drawing. Once that drawing happened, that's money gone. And he said that never really understood how much people really played the lottery until, one of the jobs I had was at a convenience store, and these people playing anywhere from $40 to $70 to $80 every day, every single day. And, I'm younger. I really didn't fully comprehend. It was just a gang of money to me. Like, good gosh, man, what? But now where I'm at is like, okay, so you don't have that faith, that love, or feel that you can do that without this lottery dream. You know what I'm saying? That stupid stuff that the the child people, when you wish upon a star. That's wishing upon a star, that sounds good and everything, but there's no action. So stop wishing upon a star and wish upon yourself. Stop wanting. Let your wants become needs. And when you need it enough, you're going to dream about it. Then once you dream about it, you're going to be about it. I am Keystone. I'm a synthesizer of energy, frequencies, and information that generates increases of consciousness, self-awareness, and self-love for those who do not know who they are or the power they possess. This is Code Red. Enjoy your day. Thank you for sharing your time and energy with me.